day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. The country is in chaos. When I say the country is in chaos, I would love to say that the country is confused. Maybe it's just people who are in the country, in Nigeria right now, that are not confused, because even the armed forces, those who are supposed to protect our life and property, are also in confusion. How? Why am I saying this? Did you know that the Nigerian police force has been ranked as the worst in the world? The worst security outfit in the world, according to the World Internal Security and Police Index, WISPI. Yes, Nigerian police force has been ranked the worst. In fact, the most corrupt force in all the countries amongst the world. All right, this is not hearsay. You could check it up and then you know what I'm saying. All right, now the truth remains that just because this ranking has come up, that does not mean we should write off other bad deeds that the Nigerian police force have done. We would bring them on board, because even those who live in Nigeria know that the Nigerian police force has gone bad and is now worse, if not worst. All right, I have a brief documentary that will prove this, and then when we come back, I'll give an elaborate explanation, and then we'll go over to the next update. The World Internal Security and Police Index, WISPI, has declared the Nigerian Police Force, NPF, the #1 worst police department globally. The ranking comes as no surprise, considering the Nigerian Police Force's consistent failure to uphold law and order. The force's dismal record is reflected in its blatant disregard for court orders and the Constitution, earning it a 0 in respect for legal norms. A stroll across the nation reveals widespread roadblocks, not for legitimate security checks, but rather as opportunities for officers to harass and extort money from motorists and pedestrians alike. The notorious Special Anti-Robbery Squad, also known as SARS, within the Nigerian police, has gained infamy for its brutal treatment of innocent citizens, often resulting in fatalities. Incidents of extrajudicial killings, torture, wrongful arrests, bribery, and corruption are rampant, with these egregious acts going unchecked within the Nigerian police force. Despite the recent disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS, by the Inspector General of Police amid nationwide protests that happened in 2020, the pervasive corruption within the Nigerian police force remains evident. The actions of many officers demonstrate a blatant disregard for the law, painting a grim picture of the state of law enforcement in Nigeria. All right, welcome back. You've followed the documentary there, and let's not start from anywhere. Let's start from NSAS. 2020 was a very, very memorable year, a year to remember for Nigerians, especially the youths. A year to remember, not for positivity, but for negativity, because lots of Nigerians lost their lives as a result of lack of composure from the Nigerian police force. All right, Nigerians took to the streets to protest over what happened in the NSAS, and our successive governments used that opportunity to vent their anger on Nigerian youths. All right, forward to some years later, the SARS, the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, was abolished, and then we thought sanity was brought and returned to the Nigerian police force. But we saw the worst of it all: bribery and corruption, wanton killings under the pretext of criminality, and so on and so forth. We saw different innocent citizens being shot by officers who don't even understand their left from their right. All right. That is the more reason why I am of the great opinion that when recruiting police officers, you should bring on board people who are actually sensible, people who have gone to school, people who are rationally sound, so that they will be able to, tell the difference between their left and their right. If you begin to recruit people like the ones that were recruited in Kano State, 222 of them, then I think the police force will be filled with dollars that would not be able to fathom what security and insecurity is. They may even finally fuel insecurity instead of fighting security themselves. All right. Now, the Nigerian police force has been embedded in bribery and corruption. Few months later, rewind to few months ago, when two officers of the Nigerian police force accosted a tourist or a sojourner from Netherlands. This woman was on her motorcycle and she was on her way touring the world, and she passed through Nigeria, and surprisingly they accosted her in one of the southwestern states and began to ask her for funds. You think this is Nigeria, or you think this is your normal Nigerian drivers? All right, so I felt that with that particular occurrence still happening at a very, very later stage in 2022, I think the Nigerian police should be called to order. Though the Nigerian police has taken positive steps to dismiss such officers, but I think there are other bad eggs in the force that need to be fished out. Of course, we are no longer visitors to this particular news update where the female Nigerian army officer has been alleging lots of sexual advances and lots of malfeasance from her superiors, all right, and which is not supposed to be so. These are the types of corrupt officers that should be taken away from the armed forces, all right. These are the type of corrupt people that should be put in jail for God knows how long, all right, under the pretext of the law, all right. So if we don't do this, then we will see that we will find it hard to curb insecurity and to curb insurgency, because those who will actually deliver this operation, those who are saddled with the responsibility to curb insecurity, are actually corrupt themselves. Then how do you fight insecurity? That is my point, all right. So we will see to it if this new administration will curb the corrupt practices and the sort of misconduct in the Nigerian police force. Now, surprisingly, in what seems to be a dying minutes attempt, Nyesom Wike has summoned an emergency meeting in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, as gunmen have ran riots countless times, lots of people killed and lots of families kidnapped in the FCT. Maybe the chameleon has learned to run fast because the bush is on fire. Please, state it for a brief caption of the meeting.
All of us are aware of the security situation in the Federal Capital Territory, particularly Buhari and some other areas that were witnessed security challenges. Yes, I'm aware that sometimes too the press overblow what is happening, but all of us are concerned as the Federal Capital Territory that houses virtually every Nigerian. We owe a duty to make sure that this place is safe. We'll do all we can, and we're sure Nigerians who reside here that there's no need for panic. We're taking every step to make sure that those challenges are things that we must have to resolve. So this meeting is practically to look into such challenges and see how we'll be able to resolve the problems. And that's why we invited all the council chairmen, because they also have a responsibility in their various area councils. So put our head together and come up with solutions. So for the press, it's just for you to know that we are not sleeping. Security agencies are also not sleeping. We'll provide every support that they require in order to allay the fears of the citizens or residents. And this time around, we will not be happy where area council chairmen will abdicate their responsibility and travel out. We have gotten reports that council chairmen travel anytime, and then if anything happens, of course, they will not call anybody's name. They will call the FCT minister. Recently, NUT has embarked on strike. It is not because of our fault, it is the area council. Primary schools are under the purview of the area councils. But again, it will look as if the ministers are doing nothing.
Whoa. Yes, we can now call the meeting for insecurity to be called. Now, I would love to tell you some week categorically that to curb insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory is not by calling meetings, all right? To curb insecurity in Abuja is not by calling meetings of the armed forces and federal directors and federal officers, all right? To curb insecurity in Abuja is by fixing those arms of government that are actually saddled with the utmost responsibility to make decisions that would favor security and the advocacy of the security of life and properties of Nigerians. This is the way to start curbing insecurity in a very sensitive area and city like the federal capital city of Nigeria, Abuja. All right, that is the way to start it. All right, not by calling service chiefs. And although this is the starting point, but I would love to call you some week for the last time to please do the needful, because when you make hay while the sun shines, then people will know that you are actually making efforts. This is a very, very late time. This sounds to me like a dying minute call for insecurity to be curbed in the FCT. Why are you coming now? When you were busy fighting for supremacy in Rivers State, you forgot that you had to fight insecurity in the Federal Capital Territory. All right. This is the reason why I feel Nyesom Wike is actually the wrong person or the worst person to hold that ministerial position in the FCT. Start by changing or start by suggesting that few people in charge of security or making security, laws should be changed. Bello Matawale is not a good person or not the most viable or capable candidate to hold the ministerial position of the Minister for State for Defense. What are they doing? What are these people even doing, for God's sake? All right. So, Nyesom Wike, I hope that this meeting should end positively and should bring about positive reforms to our armed forces and a final solution to security, not only in Abuja, but to other parts of Nigeria. All right. Now, our president is the head of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. All right. Yeah, we all know that. Sometimes he tried to make a mistake by declaring a state of emergency or an invasion, a political invasion or a military invasion, I beg your pardon, on Niger Republic over the fact that the government of Niger Republic, that is President Mohamed Bazoum, was ousted out of office by the military junta in Niger. All right. Somehow he was spoken to and he was alerted by our lawmakers, all right, a move which I applaud till tomorrow. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has failed to remove the ban he placed at the border between Niger Republic and Nigeria. Talking about the ban now, I feel, if you ask me, that it is high time he removed or he took away that ban, because the bordering states in those areas are suffering economically, all right, and commercially. The closure of the border between Nigeria and Niger Republic has actually brought about enormous hardship, all right? Affected states like Sokoto, Kebbi State, Zamfara State, Katsina State, Jigawa State, Borno State, and Kano State respectively actually have been finding it hard to thrive commercially and economically. I don't think there was any need to enforce the ECOWAS ban on trade and commerce. You could enforce it on any other thing, but not on trade and commerce. I think I have a senator representing Kebbi Central Senatorial District, Senator Adamu Aliero, to bring more explanation to this. These people are in these places. They know where the shoe pinches most.
Let me start by saying that the foreign policy of any state or any country should be a reflection of its domestic policy. Our domestic policy is to take care of the interest and welfare of Nigerians. The closure of border between Nigeria and Niger has caused enormous hardship to the people in Nigeria, not only in Kano, like you mentioned, affects Kebbi, Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, to some extent even Kaduna, Jigawa, Yobe, and Borno State. And legislators from these states have called on federal government to open the border without any delay, because it has caused a lot of economic distortions to these states. It has pushed a number of people into serious poverty. It has pushed a number of people into serious unemployment. It has caused very serious friction between Niger and Nigeria. Niger and Nigeria has been very strong allies from time immemorial. And these two countries are inseparable. It is just the colonial demarcation of boundaries that made them separate. After all, before the colonial masters' incursion into Nigeria, Niger and Nigeria are the same people, same religion, same tribe, same culture. There are intermarriages between Niger and Nigeria. So whatever affects Nigeria also affects Niger. And for that reason, we don't see any sense in enforcing this ECOWAS ban on trade between Nigeria and Niger. The closure of border is unwarranted, unnecessary, and is causing a lot of hardship to our people. Right now, if you go to the border, you will see close to about 1,500 truckload of various goods that were prevented coming into Nigeria. Some of these trucks are not coming from Nigeria alone. Some from Mali, some from Benin Republic, some from Burkina Faso, some from even Cameroon. So businessmen have been made to suffer a lot of losses as a result of.
Right, welcome back. That was Senator Adamu Aliero there, representing KB, not KB Central, I beg your pardon, Senatorial District. What he says is the right thing. He has families there, he is from there, and I told you sometime that the senators repelled the military invasion because anything that touches Niger now will touch lots of their investments outside Nigeria in those countries or in that country. All right. So for Senator Adamu Aliero to come and make such statements, you should be able to deduce that it is true. They are suffering commercially and they are suffering economically, and this needs to be stopped. Bola Tinubu needs to remove that ban, that ECOWAS ban on the border bordering Niger Republic and Nigeria, lest our states across the border of those places begin to suffer economically, and that is what has been happening for the past couple of months. Please like our videos, share them. Don't forget to drop comments for us in the comment section. If you're watching it for the first time, please tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that we'll get to link up when I'm on air. Wouldn't you love that? I'm not seeing those comments coming. Please do more so we will serve you better. See you next time. Bye.